Alright, here we go. Welcome back to My Dress Up Darling Anime Review, episode number 6. We're reviewing episodes 11 and 12 for the series, which also happen to be the end of season 1 for the show. I like the release date for the last episode. Apparently it was a day after my, I kid you not, it was released day after my 24th birthday. Actually no, 34th birthday. Excuse me. That was like over 10 years ago. Yes. So, in these two episodes, basically, here's what happens. Maron takes Gojo to a manga cafe and gets him hooked on a light novel, which has the illustration of a succubus trying to get basically a guy to go to sleep so she can take all his energy. By the way, this particular girl, the succubus herself, she is voiced by Brennan Luda, and the guy is voiced by Matt Shipman. Yep. So, after reading it, and of course after studying it for a while, he couldn't think of anything back, so then he basically makes her the outfit. Then they go to a studio, which turns out to be a love hotel. Yep. And then, of course, basically, where, she changes the outfit, where he's not exactly upset with this revealing one. Yes, it does show off her belly, her legs. But for him, it's like, as long as the chest outfit's covered up, he's not much of an issue at all. And he takes another cool picture. Of course, before all the stuff, she comments like, "Ooh, this looks so nice, like the room." And yes, believe it or not, this hotel has an adult sex toy. Yep. Even he basically is like, "Why the heck am I even here?" Aside from taking pictures, no reason to be here. And of course, then check out the bathroom. Of course, she joked like, "Ooh, maybe they'll take a bath together." No, they're not. So, then takes a bunch of pictures, and it's Piyavushu who has her sitting on his lap while lying down the bed, taking pictures, and then there's a couple in the next room who are doing it, and this apparently turns him on, and then he ends up basically putting his hands on her waist. Now you would think basically in a position like this, something don't happen, but don't worry, nothing happens. And by the way, she does notice basically he is turned on by her being that outfit. She does notice, doesn't say anything. She goes back to get changed, and then they prepare to leave. There's a client that comes in who is voiced by, believe it or not, Leah Clark. Yep. And then they leave. And they go home and think, "Oh, cosplay." Not really, no. The whole last episode. By the way, this is standard for all these anime where the last episode is also the head of the series, My Dress Up Darling. Where no cosplay this episode. Is simply put, the last episode is simply this. Basically, they have the new school years for the startup. I believe because they mentioned that when the season started, they were freshmen, and now they're going into, sophomore year. Well, and they still all the studying, and of course, going to festivals. Her dad basically does briefly call her, and of course, apparently, he wanted her to take pictures of her homework. No fact she did it, and going to a festival, and of course, she does go to one, see some fireworks, and has a good time. Though, of course, her sandals she's wearing apparently are eating up her feet. So, he suggests basically, by the way, they go there to this festival. She had a good time. She got her tongue blue. And then basically her feet basically start hurting her because of the sandals. And he says the reason why that is because she's not used to it. Of course, he's just going to the nearby convenience store to get bandages for her feet. But it'd be just like a waste of time, so just carry her there. And he does. And I thought at this point the episode was over. But apparently there was like 5 minutes left. Also, they go back when they go back to school. They look around the school, and then also they watch a horror movie where apparently two of the voice actors in this movie are, I kid you not, Brittany Kowalski and Alexis Tipton. Yeah, Alexis voices the monster in the movie, and the movie lead is voiced by Brittany Kowalski. Yes, I believe for her this is like the 43rd series basically for her. Alexis is like 23rd, I think it is. Yeah, I think like 23rd. So then of course basically then later on she's sequel, gets scared, talks to him on the phone, and basically the last 2 minutes of the episode is them chatting over the phone, and then when he falls asleep, she tells him she's in love with him, but he probably can't hear her because he's fast asleep, and then she goes to sleep, and that ends the season right there. I kind of predicted, basically reading the chapter, that this would end this scene would end the season. I thought coming sooner, but it was my fault not noticing the fact that it was like 5 more minutes this one, and that's pretty much the season in a nutshell. So, final thoughts, season 1 of the show. Quite interesting, very relaxing. Of course, the show is very slice of life. Yes, it's been not exactly bit edgy stuff here. Well, in the 12 episodes, we only get one scene of nudity in the whole season. You're like, really? Where? Well, it actually happened in episode 10, where we did see Maria's rear end. And that's the only thing we see. We do not see her breast or her groin area. We do not see that. We don't see like full nudity with her. Well, don't exactly see her fully nude. Mostly just her butt. That was it. Yep. But stuff going to play next season. Don't worry about that. Also, I did yesterday, I think it was. I did pretty much read the rest of the manga for this one. So basically, the manga's done. So all of the go for right now, just a couple of spin-offs, there's 2 spin-offs, plus of course season 2. I'm not watching season 2 next because next, last thing I'm gonna watch before I go back to watching Boom Hunter, which at this point be starting up tomorrow. I'm gonna do the first season of Solo Leveling. Yep, I'm gonna get this done. Okay, but see you next video tomorrow. Bye.